This is a welcome to Sleep Training Masterclass. And my name is Ronke, or in case you don't know, my name is Ronke. I'm a mom of three boys, and one of the most challenging things that I've done is getting them to bed time so that I can do more things time. So boys' bedtime 7:30. By 7:30, they're already in their rooms. So we give say 10, 15, 20 minutes. They would have slept off. So by 8:30, I have my evening to myself. I can do different things and all of that. So I'm hoping that more people will adopt. I don't know why, but in Nigeria it's not so common. But outside Nigeria, a lot of people do it. They start sleep training as early as when the baby is still um, you know quite small, say 2 months, and so that way it's not being a mom is not so well. It's stressful, but at least just can put some things into place. So this morning I'm going to be talking about some myths that I've noticed some people have about sleep training, and I'll be verifying that with myths also true, and then some facts that everybody that wants to sleep train their children should know. And then I'm going to be giving some pointers. The pointers are from my book. I wrote an ebook about how to train your child. Let me see if I can. Okay, I know a lot of people will have seen this book. But so this is the book I wrote. I made it very easy, very straightforward, and I broke the sleep training process into seven easy steps that you can follow. Make sure your kids get into bed as as early as possible. Just it depends on what you want, really, because you are in charge. Families are different, moms are different, kids are different. So you are in charge of what you want. So let me just get to it. I'm here to answer questions. So if you have questions, I'm going to run through what I have. I always make my classes very short because I know time is very important. We are moms and we are a whole lot of other things that we also do. So I always try to make my classes maybe 30 minutes maximum, or maybe if there are questions, you can extend a little bit. But I always try to keep it short, and just get to the point and all of that. So I'm going to run through the facts and some tips, and then I'm going to. If you have questions, please drop it in the comment section. When I'm done talking, I'll check the comments and then I'll respond to the question. So if you have any question for me, start typing. Okay, so I've introduced myself and a little bit about me. And first, I'm going to tackle that allowing kids. We all know that bedtime. If they are not sleep trained yet, bedtime is their crying time. You want to force them; they're not ready to go to bed. So if you try to force them, a lot of crying. So a lot of people don't want kids to cry, and because they believe if they cry too much, they cry. So that is not true. Kids always have a way of getting their way. So when they see that crying gets them what they want, they will keep doing it. It's just like an adult. Like if I do this, I'm going to get it. So why would you stop doing it? So crying, let them crying out is not damaging at all. So if and when you are ready to train them, get ready for a lot of crying. So be ready. So don't let it like move you that they are crying, they are disturbing the neighbors and all of that. You have to be ready. Whoever might be disturbed by that. Okay. You have to mute everybody. Okay. Okay, please, maybe everybody should kind of mute their microphone, please, so that this can go smoother. Thank you very much. Okay, if there are some people that maybe be offended by the children crying for a long time, but trust me, it's just that they won't cry for that long. It's just in our heads that we think, oh, the crying has been going on for that long. If you actually time it, which was one of the things I did when I started sleep training my children, my baby then trying to get into bed. He will cry and he will cry. You have to, I say, you have to stay in your bed. And then I would start my timer and say, okay, how long is he going to cry for? You'll be surprised that it's just like 5 minutes, but your head feels like it's like 30 minutes and you're like scared and you're like, worried that, oh, okay, maybe he's going to hurt himself from crying and all that. But it's never that long. You can try it and set it. So that's one myth that we need to take away if we want to get this done. Another myth is that anytime a child wakes up at night, it means that they need you and you have to be there. That is not true. We also wake up at night. The way sleep works is that sleep works in cycles. So you don't just sleep from when your body hits the bed to the next morning. So if you notice, even as an adult, our sleep cycles like 90 minutes. So for 90 minutes, you might not shake, you might not move. But after that, your sleep kind of breaks. And then maybe you turn and you're like, oh, okay, oh, there's light, there's no light, you get that brief consciousness, and then you go back to sleep. So the same thing happens with babies. So after that sleep cycle, they wake up and they might cry, they might say they want this and that. You have to know them. Looks, it sounds really, really tough, and you're like, how? They don't need you. It's just a normal part of sleeping. It happens to babies, it happens to others. So they wake up in the night and they turn around or they do this. They don't need you. Just make sure that before they go to bed, make sure they have everything, make sure they're comfortable and all of that. You can go check, but it's not even the best when you're just starting to sleep. It's not the best to just pop in and anytime they like wake up, because when they see you, they feel like, okay, mommy is here and all of that. No. So make sure they have everything they need for bed. They are well fed, and there's water, and they drank enough water. They will be fine through the night. Because actually, babies are actually supposed to sleep for, depending on on their ages, they're supposed to sleep for very long. Like biology has already placed that in their body. Like, okay, for let's say more than 12 hours, they're supposed to be asleep. And your body should not need water, your body should not need food. You should just sleep and enjoy the sleep. So if they keep waking up and you keep going to them to give them this or that, you're messing flow. Okay, so the first thing is that people think, oh, sleep training is a very long process. Yeah, it's tasking, but it's not long. If you start sleep training today, the maximum is going to take you 7 days for you for the kid to already know that, no, not know, like just feel like, okay, I think it's time for me to sleep. Minimum 3 days, depending on the nature of the kids, depending on how long they've been doing whatever they want in the evenings or at night. So it's not a very long process, but you just have to stay consistent. You have to be ready. You have to put everything into place because it has to follow step by step. You can't break it in between. That's what makes it kind of challenging. You can't break it. So what I do when I want to sleep train, I start from maybe Thursday evening or Friday evening so that I know I'm going to like use the weekend to be in the thick of it because of work and everything. Because it's like this adage that says a child that says the mother will not sleep will not also sleep. You that you will say you want to do this thing, trust me, they will not take it easy with you, and you have to be ready. So you might also not get enough sleep. So I try to position it to weekend, maybe Thursday evening, or because the first 3 days are the key major days that would challenge you, that would make you want to say, okay, I'm not doing it again. I don't think I can do this. When I started, I quit a couple of times. I'll do maybe day 1, day 2, and I'll be like, this is stressful. I don't think this child ready for this. I don't think I have the strength for this, and I'll quit. And there's nothing wrong with that, because when you're not ready, you're not ready. I always try again. So you make sure that you're ready. You make sure that you are ready to be consistent, do it back to back. And trust me, it's something is like a project. Just treat it like a project. Like this week, you're going to do this. So after that first 7 days maximum, all you have to do is make sure that you now have the responsibility of getting dinner ready when dinner should be ready. Because if you start missing those nights routine, you start to mess things up. So they are supposed to be in bed by, say, maybe you choose 8, maybe you choose 9. Is that totally left to you? That means that maybe shift it like 2 hours. That means 2 hours before that bedtime, you have to like make sure homework is done. Make sure I don't know if they need to get ready by themselves for school the next day. That's done. Make sure there is they've done. They've eaten dinner. If you want them to have some minutes after dinner to do whatever, so you have to like plan that for bedtime um, hours. You have to plan it. Because if you don't plan it, you you keep like shifting that time. And the key thing that makes sleep training work is that time has to be specific. Yeah, maybe you can miss it by 15 minutes, but it can't be 8 today and 9 tomorrow. It can be 8:15, it can be maybe some minutes too and all of that, but it has to be within that same period. And when you now stay consistent, before you know it, the kids do not, even if you don't feed them, that time they'll start falling asleep. I remember after sleep training my children, we went out one day and we stayed late. So 7:30, that's when they should be in bed. We went visiting, and by 7 we were still there. So only past 7 that we started going home. Okay. Two of them had already slept up in the car before we go home. So that's the way it is. They will just their body will have adjusted so much that you know you won't have to work so much. It's just that beginning part, that training. That's where the work. Okay, so okay, let me go to facts. Okay, so number one, sleep training is not selfish. Like it's not like, oh, let me get them out of the way so I can live my life. They need a lot of sleep. If you Google your child's age and the number of sleep that he or she should have, you see what I'm talking about. There are some kids that should have up to maybe 16 hours, maybe babies. You know how babies, when you first have them, they sleep. That's normal, they sleep. Yeah. So it's only maybe I know adults, you're supposed to have 8 hours of sleep. So imagine kids. So that means 10, 12 hours. That's what they should have of sleep. So you can maybe check the amount of sleep your children need, and then you can use it to plan. So it's not selfish, it's actually for the child. And to me, it's a win-win. They get enough sleep so that they can grow, so that they can be healthy and grow the right way. And you also get to have your life, your evening back to yourself. You can plan things and rest. You can go to bed early. Sometimes I go to bed when they go to bed, and then maybe that's like 8. And then 9, 10, maybe I can wake up at 10, work for 2 hours, go to bed again, or work for 4 hours. So there's so much that you can do when you have sleep training down. So okay, another thing is there's no strict formula for every parent. So I can't say, okay, by 8, by 7 they should all be in bed. You have to decide that. That's the beauty of this. You have to plan it. But just need to know steps to take and things to look out for, all of that when you are doing it. So it's so flexible. Yeah, there's no strict formula. Parenting is not, that's the way parenting is anyway. You can read a parenting book, and you're not supposed to carry everything and apply it to yourself. No, as you're reading it, okay, this cannot work for me. Okay, I think this can work for me and all of that. So that's the beauty of parenting, and that's the beauty of. So another thing is, okay, it's almost impossible for anybody to, I've said it when I was talking about sleep cycles. You don't just sleep. It doesn't work that way. So, okay. Another fact is that whether you sleep train or you don't sleep train your child, nothing spoiled. Like it's not a do or die affair. We went in sleep trained, and we kind of turned out well. Kind of, sure. Do you understand? So it's not as if, oh, if you don't secure them and they sleep anytime, well, they'll still turn up on. That's the way life is. So okay, so the tips, I'm going to give 3 tips and then I'll round up this talk. I don't want to talk. So the first thing you have to do, you have to set the intention. I always tell people you always that to when you do anything, you should start with your why. So what's your why? Why do you want to sleep training? For me, sleep training became like something I just had to do when I started my PhD. 3 kids, I started a PhD, there was work. So when I resumed maternity leave, it was not funny. So I would have assignments, and then the boys would be running around 11, 11:30, waiting for them to sleep so I can work. By the time they finally sleep one by one, me too, I'll be tired of sleep. Next thing, money has come. I have to go to class. Where's your assignment? We have not done it. Do you understand? Started getting really, really, really embarrassing. And I started looking for way out and so started thinking, okay, so that because I'm a night owl, I work better at night. So sleeping is like gold for me. Like getting the kids out, resting a while, and then work. Night is when I do my best work. So it became really, really important. So you have to set your intention. Most of the things we do in life generally is the reason why we are doing it. That's what drives us. It's not as if, oh, sleeping is so cute. It's so, it's the thing that you need that will, keep when you, because I gave up, like I said, I gave up. I'll say, can't do this. I don't care if I'm not doing assignment. Do you understand? But I would quit, but then I'll go and face the consequences, and then I'll come back and say, okay, I think I have to do it. So you have to always set intention. What is why? And probably write it down, because I've realized that when you start thinking things in your head, you have dreams and all of that. It's until you write it down that it becomes very, very real. So I have to just write it down. Okay, I need to do this. Start writing what the possibilities. What are the things I can do in my evenings? And the things I wrote down, it was amazing. Like, so I can do this for 1 hour. I can write for 1 hour. I can, design this or create this. Or I said, I'm like, okay. So that made me like really serious. I had to just set your intention. And the second tip that I have is about mindset. Mindset is basically when you look at something. It's how you think, it's your perspective, your thoughts, your way you perceive something. So if you have this mindset as something you had, trust me, it's almost impossible for you to get it done. So you have to start thinking, I can do this. You have to start thinking, oh, this is easy. So that is why I'm doing this. So when you look at me and say, oh, okay, I think you okay can do this with a 3 points. My boys have energy. So if I can do it with my 3 points, you can do it too. Trust me. So you have to have that right, that can do mindset. Always have it with training, have it with anything that you want to venture into. I can do this. Yeah, it's going to be challenging and all that, but I can do it. You have to always remind yourself about that. And then the third thing is consistency. The funny thing is that these 3 tips, it applies to anything you want to do. If you want to take a course, if you want to start a business, if you want to start a personal self-improvement about yourself. Number 1, set intention. Number 2, have the right mindset. And number 3, you have to be consistency is the hardest part. For me, about you, but it is so hard to just say, okay, I want to do this today, and then I'll do it tomorrow, and then I'll do it the next, the day after tomorrow, and I'll keep doing it every day. This is so hard, but you have to just start. And that number 1 thing, that setting your intention, is what would drive you. That's why I say you have to write it down. Write it down, maybe paste it somewhere, seeing every morning that. Okay, so by the time you wake up and you don't do all those things, you see all the things, you yourself, you use your own time to write out the things that you might be missing out. Meaning, okay, if I don't get this done, I don't get to do this. I don't get to have this. I don't get to enjoy this. By the time you start, seeing all that, it helps you like, okay, make one step today, tomorrow, take the next step, and then before you know it, get it done, so well. I so these are the things that helped me. And now, even when my kids are not with me, like when they go to spend time with their grandparents, I always insist that this is their bedtime. Let them go to bed at that time. My parents will be arguing with me that they will not sleep. I said, no, I have done this sleep training. They sleep. And they sleep at home. That they are visiting you does not mean, please don't spoil my hard work. So I just make sure that, they just, what I tell them is, you know what, just shove them into that room, back to the 7:30 or 8, put them there, they will fall asleep. Because when you train them, automatically that's what happened. So for me personally, I read them bedtime stories, gist, and all of that when I put them in bed at 7:30. When I'm not there, my mom wants to watch T-Word in around that, 7:30. So nobody has time for for bedtime stories and all of that. So I said, okay, you know what? Just put them in there, door to door. So, yeah, play, scatter everywhere. But in 30 minutes, go and check. All of them slept off. Somehow, even some you see two of them sleeping on top of each other. I said, it's better just sleep. And then you can go and put everybody in their place. Okay, so that's it. I'm just here to encourage you that you just need to start and find find your why, your reason, things that easier for you when you start training them, and then make sure you are consistent. So I'm going to go to questions now, and then I'm going to remind you to. I'm going to share my ebook with you again. It's just 3,700 naira. So please buy it. If you buy it, you see 7 steps. I've highlighted the 7 step by step actions that you can take when you are ready. Like you sit down with it. It's a workbook, so you get pen and you get your pen, and then you write some things down that will help you to get this. So I want to answer questions now, if there are any. Trying to figure out. Let's okay. Okay, so I mentioned that the boys sleep around 7. Like, how have you had issues with the younger ones waking up earlier than expected? Okay, your 2-year-old wakes up in the middle of the night and stays awake for whenever I sleep. Okay, so yes, like I've had the experience, but like I said, remember when I said that nobody sleeps through the night? Yeah, there's something called sleep cycle. For adults, I don't know for kids. For adults, it's like 90 minutes when you sleep straight and then you wake up. But because you're an adult now, you don't just because you wake up, you're conscious. Oh, like you're conscious of what's happening. Oh, okay, maybe you fell asleep and you're holding your phone, you put it away, and then you go back to sleep because it's not yet morning. Go back to sleep by yourself. So that is what you are now supposed to train kids to do. They'll wake up because that sleep cycle has ended. But so they'll cry, they'll call for you and all of that. So it is now left for you to what? To ignore. Especially when you know they already have what they need. I have a 2-year-old too. So what I did was I sleep trained him around before he was 1. So what I did was I noticed that he was always asking for water. So I went to look for these bottles that when you turn it, water cannot spill, non-spill. Yeah. So if I'll fill it, I'll keep it in his bed. So if he wakes up and I make sure that when he wakes up, I don't go there. I hear him, but I will ignore. I know the only thing I make sure just make sure that okay, what are the things that they will need? Food, water, and all of that. Trust me, they don't really need food of the night. When you wake up, do you need food? Unless maybe you didn't eat. dinner. But these kids, they've eaten dinner because you make sure they've eaten dinner, they drank enough water. So what you do is, if you think, okay, you need extra water, find that cup, keep it in his bed, and make sure that you don't go there. Because when you see him, he's thinking, okay, it's time to play. So you don't go there. If you need water, he's going to learn to, grab it and take the water. But even that water self, he doesn't really need it. So when he wakes up and he doesn't see you the first time, the second time, he will learn that when I wake up and I don't see anybody, I go straight back to sleep, which is what we as adults do. That is what they should do. So he wakes up to play or to stay awake for an hour because he got some engagement. Maybe there's light. Maybe the light is on, and then maybe you are there. If you were not there, if the light was not on, if he was alone, he will wake up, but it will take him a minute or two to go back, straight back to sleep. It might not be that short because I've heard there was this funny scenario that I tell people when my kid woke up in the middle of the night and he started singing to himself. I'm like, okay, this is very strange. How can you just wake up and you will just be singing? I didn't go there. I didn't go to check. Just there, wondering what was going on. But you not go there. And before you know it, will go back to sleep. So you just have to, know all of that. Yeah, does anybody have more questions? Because I'm getting to. If you have questions, please ask me. Hello. Okay, so no questions. All right. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so let me quickly recap and then I'll round up the class. So yeah, I said that crying out in the middle, crying out when you're trying to sustain them is not a bad thing. So if they want to cry when you're trying to put them in bed by force, because they're not used to bedtime yet, let them cry. If their neighbors are might be disturbed, maybe you can notify them that for the how many months, so for the how many days, expect plenty cry. We are doing sleeping over soon. So I know this is hard because when they cry, you feel like maybe the whole street wake up. Or let them wake up, they'll be all right. So then nighttime, when they wake up at night, they don't need you, they don't need water, they don't need food. Make sure they get that before they go to bed. So when they wake up at night, make sure you ignore them. When you can keep an eye on them from this time, but make sure they don't see you. Because when they see you, they think it's morning and time to play and go to sleep. So don't do that. So it takes about 3 to 7 days. And training is not a selfish act. It's for the good of both you and the child. So it's a win-win. You get to have some time to do other things, and they get the necessary amount of food that they need. So there's no formula that there's no strict formula. So when you're ready to sleep train, you decide what your bedtime is, decide every other thing. Just make sure that you follow the rules. Okay, and then it's almost impossible to sleep tonight, so they expect that they will wake up. Whether you sleep or not, there is nothing wrong with that. If you don't sleep your kids will sleep. All right. So what you should do is set the intention, have the right mindset, and easy, you get it done. So to round up, please buy my ebook. It's on my website. Find it in the resources section. Also, if you have any questions after this class or anything, you can DM me on Instagram or WhatsApp, and I will. So thank you very much for attending my class. I'm so grateful for your time. I hope you get to training done. And if and when you do, please send me a testimony. I'll celebrate with you and tag me on Instagram. I hope you do. I hope you do. Okay, you have a question, Chichi. Please tell me. Okay, what if my 8-month-old cries more than 10 minutes? Okay, so the answer to this is actually in my book. Should I answer you or should I make you buy my book? Okay, so what you should do is when they cry more than 5 minutes, you pick them up for a minute. Set a timer. They cry, it's up to 5 minutes. You pick them up for a minute, you cuddle them, you put them back, and you leave. So if it's up to 5 minutes again, go pick them up just to make sure that you are there for them and that they are not like alone in the world. And then keep keep doing that so that they know that you are there. So that's what to do. So how do you manage if that mommy called you during sleep? Ah, you have to stop it. That's the only way. It is not the right way to get your kids to bed. You have to just stop it and do what I just said, like put them in their own bed, even if it's on the same bed, or put them down. If they cry for more than 5 minutes, cuddle, cuddle, hug, hug, kiss, kiss, put them back. If they keep crying for another 5 minutes, cuddle, 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 hug, hug, put them back. That's what you do. Okay, so what other question do you have, Kichi? Maybe he's sleeping on you right now. That's okay, but it's during the day now. That's allowed. Let them do whatever they want. You are talking about night, excuse me, night sleeping. Okay. Oh, it's 6 a.m. where you are. All right. All right. Oh, okay. Well, try what I said. You have to drop out or drop in and let them sleep by themselves. So yes, they'll keep waking up as often as possible because of the sleep cycle thing. But you have to now be consistent in letting them take care of themselves. You don't have to, when they wake up, you don't have to go there. You get them. Even for babies that should be, breastfeeding very regularly. No, for night, no food, nothing. Them, and then they will learn. And then when they wake up, you have to like get that food ready. Because that's what I do. Like my kid, my 2-year-old loves food. So when I started sleep training, because he used to like wake up, eat every 2 hours during the night. It was stressful. I was not sleeping for a long time. So me too, I will not like fuck up now. When he wakes up, he does not want to hear good morning. It's food that is expecting. Martin, like make sure you're ready. Like I know that you sleeping through the night means that you're waking up hungry. You give them make sure that what they need, like that food, that one food now. Before bathing, before anything. Before school, science school recently before the lockdown. Before school, he wants before he hears any story. So you make sure that there's always something for him to explain because you not yeah because you have like make sure that during the night there's nothing, no interaction, no food. You sleep. Night is for sleeping. So I hope I've answered your question, Chichi. And if there's no other question, I would like to uh, round round up the class. I have a WhatsApp group for sleep training for people that buy my book. You get access to this WhatsApp group, and then on the group you can ask me questions at any time, and then I will be able to respond. But like I said, you can still send me questions. But buy my book, please support me. All right. No questions, no further questions, right?